Welcome everyone in this steam room. We did not have a very steamed up meeting today, so that's the first disappointment for you. No, just kidding. We had a short meeting today in the Eurogroup. First of all, I want to thank the Estonian presidency, of course, for their hospitality and for allowing us to be in this very inspiring surrounding. Let me first make a remark about the ongoing economic recovery. I'm not sure whether we should even talk about a recovery anymore. In the Eurozone, growth keeps picking up. It's set to remain robust. It's broad-based. It's across all our countries. Of course, risks remain and work needs to be done dealing with those risks, but confidence is ever increasing, and I think that's hugely welcome. We started our first meeting after the summer break with a discussion on how to make our monetary union more resilient, which is vital for its sound functioning. The discussion took place about what is the responsibility of member states and what is the responsibility of the monetary union or the European Union. And I think reducing vulnerability, there are three aspects regarding resilience. First of all, of course, how can we make sure that we are less vulnerable to economic shocks? Secondly, how can we increase the absorption capacity? So this is how, when the economic shock occurs, how it is being dealt with, absorbed, both by institutions, by markets, by households, by companies. And thirdly, about enabling a faster economic recovery after a shock. And that, of course, is one of the lessons learned from the crisis. We were much too slow in absorbing the shocks. We were, well, let's say we weren't ready and fit to absorb the shocks, nor on the private nor on the public side, and took a very long time to recover. Certainly if you compare, for example, to how the US recovered from the crisis. So the three phases: reducing vulnerability before the shocks, absorption of the shock when it occurs, and having a fast recovery after the shock. Those were the elements discussed. It's, of course, an umbrella issue, because when you get into it, it's again about the kind of structural reforms needed at national level, finishing the banking union, completing capital markets union so markets can absorb more shocks, improving our governance and institutional frameworks, both national and European. And many of those topics we will also return to today, tomorrow, in the coming months when we discuss the future of the monetary union. So we will build on today's discussion, bringing the topics back on our agenda in the coming weeks, putting it in the work program of the Eurogroup, and start work this autumn on topics that are right in front of us, like finishing the banking union. The Commission already has proposals on the table, doing more work on the capital markets union, where proposals are on the table, while we discuss the future elements of the monetary union. Second topic today was the state of play in Greece, the planning of the third review in Greece. We got a report from the institutions on topics that are being worked on at the moment. Technical teams are at the moment in Athens, fact-finding and preparing the grounds so that later on the third review can get off to a quick start, and the idea is to finish that before the end of the year. More work needs to be done, of course, on a number of issues, some of which were already mentioned today. A sign that Greece has come a long way is the proposal to abrogate the excessive deficit procedure. I'm sure that Pierre will say more about that. We welcome that today, and it is expected to be adopted by the Council later this month. We also addressed ongoing court cases against the previous director of ΕΛΣΤΑΤ, and let me underline here again that across the room in the Eurogroup, great concern was expressed about the ongoing court cases, the effect that it has internationally on the confidence in Greece and the process of modernization in Greece, including the independence, of course, of ΕΛΣΤΑΤ itself. So that concern was underlined and stressed. But of course, the judicial procedures will go their independent ways. I'll stop here and give the floor to Pierre.